Happy Sabbath. Today's mission report is about a person whose name is Carmen, and the title given for today's mission report is "Arrested at the Airport." So this is her story, like how she got transformed and how she turned towards Jesus. She wanted to travel to Spain from Brazil. So 2 days before Carmen boarded the international flight, she knelt by her bed to ask for God's protection, and she was very compelled with this feeling that she has to pray to God. But never in her teens she used to pray, and never in her teens she used to spend time with God. But this time she felt very compelled, and she wanted to pray, and she was filled with despair, and she poured out her whole heart into the prayer, and she asked for God's forgiveness and God's protection and God's guidance while she traveled from Brazil to Spain. And she also asked God that not to allow the police to catch her. And after praying that night, she got a dream, and in that dream she saw that a police officer had arrested her, and he placed her in handcuffs. When she woke up, she dismissed this dream as an unimportant dream, and she did not care about it much. A day later, she boarded the plane for the long flight from Brazil to Spain. What happened at that time was Carmen was very trembled and very frightened because of the things which were running in her mind, and she trembled for the duration of the 12-hour flight. She was very terrified, and she remembered that she had tried to take this trip a month earlier, but she couldn't make it out. And she also remembered that her mother was telling her constantly to return to God while there is still time. So remembering these words, she started praying non-stop for the 12 hours. She asked for God to give her peace and protection, and she asked God to calm her heart simultaneously. And she also asked God to guide her, and she also asked God, and she prayed to God, telling that to fulfill His will in her life. And upon landing in Spain's capital, Madrid, Carmen gave her passport to an immigration officer and passed through the passport control without any problem. But when she collected her baggage from the baggage claim area, what happened was a police officer stopped her, and that person told her to follow him. And Carmen followed the officers to a room where she was told that her baggage or her luggage was containing some illegal contents inside it, and Carmen was placed in handcuffs. And the police officer said to her that she was under arrest, and he arrested her. And Carmen remembered her dream where she silently asked God for forgiveness. But there was nothing else that she could do. All she was able to do was to follow the police officer wherever he intended her to come. And police took her directly from the airport to the prison cell. The trial lasted about 4 months, but she was sentenced to 6 years in prison. She had no family in Spain, and she had no friends also. She knew no one there. And she kept on asking herself as to why are these things were happening to her, and why she was there. And it was a very painful experience for her. And she had many other inmates also, and those inmates were thinking that they were in prison because God was punishing them. And it was very hard there to have the hope on God. And one day, a fellow inmate invited Carmen for a Bible study. They told that nice people from a church are visiting us, and they are offering Bible studies, come along. So they asked her to accompany them for the Bible study. And when Carmen went to the Bible study, she met two people, Julia and Santosa, two Seventh-day Adventist women from a group of 10 who visited the prison regularly. It was her first meeting with the Adventists. Carmen liked the Adventist women very much, and she felt very welcome after talking to them. And as they read the Bible together, she began to feel God's presence was there in her life. She particularly loved reading, and particularly she loved reading from the book of Psalms chapter 23 verse 1 to 4, which says like this: "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me." So Carmen felt like she was not alone. She began to have hope after having so many Bible studies and starting to read the Bible. After starting Bible studies, her life got better and better, and she got a coveted job in the prison. Before she knew it, she was released for her good behavior. The thing is, she had served only for 3 years of the 6-year sentence. And she says that now she is free and her life has been restored. And she also tells that she is studying at a university, moving on with her life. She also tells that she always puts her trust in God because God comes first in her life. So even at many times we tend not to pray, not to read Bible, and don't even think of reading Bible. So maybe her story will encourage us. And sometimes we lose hope also, like thinking about the things which are happening around us. So this woman's life will set an example for us. And Carmen regularly returns to the prison to encourage an incarcerated friend, and she tells her that you have to always hold on to God because everything is possible with Him. So everything is possible with God no matter what happens to us. And Carmen also thanks God that she went to prison. She says God heard her frightened prayers. Although God did not keep her out of the prison, He answered her plea for Him to fulfill His will in her life. He brought her into a close relationship with Him. And she also tells that she felt very ashamed of her mistakes, but she also feels that her story should set an example to others. And she also says that when you ask God for His will to be done in your life, wait patiently for Him to answer because He will answer it. So whenever we want God to fulfill His will in us, we have to wait patiently for His answer. God will definitely answer our prayers, but it needs trust and patience to put on Him. And a part of a 13th Sabbath offering 3 years ago went to Sagunto Adventist College in Spain, where students also give Bible studies to the prisoners. They thank us for the mission offering which we provided for them that helps spread hope. Thank you.